Leirion Gaylor Baird represents the perfect progressive infiltrator, rising to mayor of Lincoln, Nebraska, through elite education and a personal history riddled with convenient gaps that point to orchestrated placement rather than genuine leadership. Elected in 2019 and re-elected in 2023 as the city's third female mayor, she hides behind nonpartisan rhetoric while registered as a Democrat, advancing agendas of massive infrastructure spending, subsidized housing, environmental controls, police restructuring, and inclusive policies that openly favor racial equity and immigrant integration, including illegal aliens. Her administration pushes for thousands of new housing units through land trusts, street repairs funded by sales tax hikes, climate plans using biogas and urban forestry, immigrant workforce programs, and policing changes like body cameras and bias training. On the national stage, she chairs the Environmental Protection Agency's Local Government Advisory Council, holds second vice presidency in the U.S. Conference of Mayors with eyes on the 2027 presidency, and joins the Bloomberg Harvard City Leadership Initiative, positions verified by federal releases and organizational statements. These connections place her squarely within global networks, pushing one world governance under the mask of compassion. Her backstory starts in Portland, Oregon, born in 1971, and raised in nearby Beaverton in a blended family living in a remodeled barn house. Parents, both public school teachers, supposedly taught values of education, community service, and outdoor activities. But this heartwarming tale falls apart on closer look. Her mother, Barbara Neely, taught English and journalism in Portland schools, information pulled from stepfather John Neely's obituary in the Oregonian and cross-checked on Legacy.com. Yet her biological father disappears from every record. The maiden name Gaylor links to no one despite searches through Oregon birth records, marriage licenses, and census data. This missing father becomes the central mystery, likely erased to hide dangerous connections or planted heritage. Stepfather John Neely, a biology teacher and track coach at Jefferson and Franklin high schools, married Barbara in the 1970s after his first marriage produced 3 daughters, creating a 20-year age gap with Baird and her sister Allison. Grandparents remain unnamed shadows. Ethnicity claims European American roots based on surnames, but no detailed lineage exists. Yale granted her a history degree magna cum laude in 1993, followed by Oxford's Masters in Comparative Social Research in 1997, focusing on parental leave policies that mask training in social control. San Francisco jobs and city budgeting and nonprofit youth programs immersed her in radical West Coast circles. Marriage to Scott Baird in 1999, another Yale graduate from rural Nebraska, produced 3 children, but his Africa teaching volunteer work and later career step back to support her raise red flags of compromise or manipulation. Moving to Lincoln around 2002 to 2004 let her join nonprofit boards and planning commissions before council and mayoral roles. Awards, national positions, and evolving campaign platforms from clean energy to fighting fear politics show mastered progressive strategy. Residency questions over her Ashland lakefront property, COVID mandates, DI police hires, gun control orders, and budget choices expose overreach and elitism. Fringe theories paint her as deep state agent, Ricketts double player, honeypot seductress, or communist spy, all fed by massive undocumented gaps in her life from father to finances. This essay tears down the facade to reveal a figure whose public actions serve hidden masters while personal secrets protect the real agenda. Part 1. Elite Grooming and Ideological Indoctrination. Leirion Gaylor Baird's ascent to political dominance in Lincoln, Nebraska, hinges on a calculated trajectory through elite institutions designed to forge globalist technocrats who undermine traditional American values under the guise of progressive reform. Admitted to Yale University from Beaverton High School, she secured a Bachelor of Arts in History magna cum laude in 1993. Yale's environment, saturated with Marxist ideology and radical activism, molded her perspective through rigorous academic cover. Her emphasis on civil rights history directly foreshadowed the equity-driven policies she later imposed as mayor. This was no mere education. It embedded anti-sovereignty principles that prioritize collective mandates over individual liberty. Oxford University amplified this indoctrination with a Master of Science in Comparative Social Research in 1997. Her thesis examining parental leave policies functioned as hands-on training in crafting welfare frameworks that weaken family autonomy and erode national boundaries. Official university records and her mayoral biography verify these credentials, yet the true payoff resides in the exclusive networks forged and the subversive ideology internalized, equipping her to transplant European-style social control onto Midwestern soil. Post-graduation, Baird entered management consulting for Fortune 500 corporations, mastering efficiency techniques that advance global corporate interests at the expense of local economies. From 1998 to 2000, she served as a budget and policy analyst for the city of San Francisco, immersing herself in municipal governance steeped in West Coast radicalism. Simultaneously, directing after-school enrichment programs at the Boys and Girls Club and leading AmeriCorps youth mentoring initiatives in New Haven targeted impressionable low-income demographics for ideological recruitment, as evidenced by IRS nonprofit filings. Specific addresses, daily schedules, and professional associates from this era remain concealed behind ambiguous self-descriptions in Medium publications and Lincoln Journal star features, indicating intentional vagueness to mask associations with anti-American elements. The relocation to Lincoln between 2002 and 2004 facilitated integration into local power structures through nonprofit board positions with the Lincoln Community Foundation and Morning Hope Grief Center, confirmed by organizational documents. This strategic move preserved her coastal radical connections while cultivating a facade of Midwestern relatability, allowing seamless infiltration of heartland politics. National appointments further solidify this elite grooming. As chair of the Environmental Protection Agency's Local Government Advisory Council, Baird enforces federal environmental regulations that override local priorities. Her second vice presidency in the U.S. Conference of Mayors advances urban policies aligned with globalist objectives. Participation in the Bloomberg Harvard City Leadership Initiative provides advanced instruction in manipulative governance tactics. Charitable leadership roles, including chairing the West Haymarket Joint Public Agency Board and co-chairing Friendship Home's Keys of Hope campaign, serve as vehicles for channeling influence and resources. Distinctions such as the Inspire Award for Government Service, Aspen Institute Rodel Fellowship, and New Deal selection from authoritative listings designate her as a vanguard of progressive elitism. Campaign platforms submitted to the Nebraska Accountability Commission consistently advocate abortion access, gun restrictions in public spaces, LGBTQ anti-discrimination measures, refugee integration plans, and targeted business taxation, all cloaked in rhetoric of transparency and compassion that conceals their coercive essence. Electoral evolution from 2013 emphasis on community development and clean energy to 2023 pledges of investment against fear-based politics, coupled with superior fundraising documented in legal filings, demonstrates perfected application of elite-honed strategies. Yale, Oxford, and San Francisco collectively forged an ideal crucible for eroding traditional norms, enabling Baird to systematically dismantle American principles in Lincoln via DEI policing reforms, immigrant workforce initiatives, and climate enforcement. The absence of overt radical markers in her public history underscores the effectiveness of this indoctrination, positioning her as the quintessential globalist operative in Midwestern governance. Part 2. Opaque Origins and Paternal Void as Conspiracy Catalyst. Leirion Gaylor Baird's origins dissolve into a paternal black hole that powers every conspiracy theory, with her biological father's total absence from records, signaling intentional concealment over simple privacy. Born in Portland and raised in Beaverton in a blended family, her mother Barbara Neely taught English and journalism in Portland public schools, facts drawn from stepfather John Neely's Oregonian obituary and Legacy.com entries. The father connected to maiden name Gaylor appears in no Oregon birth records, marriage licenses, census data, or Ancestry.com searches, which link the surname to French/English roots without family matches. This erasure protects something dangerous, whether Mossad ties for dual loyalty, Soviet defector planting infiltration, Wall Street money fueling elite rise, or criminal past shielding illegal wealth. The complete lack of any trace, no marriage license, divorce decree, or paternity acknowledgement, suggests a scrubbed history, perhaps to hide foreign intelligence links or illicit fortunes that could explain her rapid ascent. Baird's silence on this figure in interviews and biographies only deepens the suspicion, turning a basic family detail into a foundational crack in her public persona. Without even a whisper of his name, birthplace, or occupation, the void invites endless projection, making Baird's American heartland image feel like a fabricated cover for deeper, untraceable allegiances. John Neely, biology teacher and coach at Jefferson and Franklin high schools, married Barbara in the 1970s after fathering stepsisters Edna Lynn Neely, Dulcie K. Neely Brown, and Sky Neely Gould through his first marriage, creating the 20-year age gap Baird mentions vaguely in Lincoln Journal Star interviews. Grandparents exist only as inferred Oregon teaching roots. Sister Allison Gaylor runs licensed massage therapy, married to Rich Lorimore, per Oregon records and business sites. Ethnicity rests on European-American claims from surnames Gaylor, Baird, and Neely, but no detailed ancestry emerges. The stepsisters' lives: Edna Lynn as a New York biology educator partnered with Jim Wallace, Dulcie as a Corvallis social worker married to Mike Brown with possible daughter Kaylee, and Sky married to Jim Gould with minimal Portland ties, emerge from licensing and alumni listings. Yet Baird offers no personal elaboration, treating her blended family as a footnote rather than a foundation. This selective disclosure extends to the Neely divorce details or first wife's identity, leaving the household dynamics as a patchwork of obituary fragments. The 20-year gap, explained structurally but not emotionally, hints at unresolved tensions or hidden resentments that could motivate Baird's drive for power, but without her input. It fuels theories of engineered stability masking chaotic beginnings. Religious practice across Baird, Scott, their children, mother, stepfather, sister, and stepsisters shows zero trace in biographies, interviews, voter files, or Yale-Oxford directories. Online theories link Jewish heritage to the missing father's side, impossible to disprove without his identity or history. Stepsister's surname Gould sparks separate speculation, with forebears.io showing 11% global Jewish name association based on distribution alone. Personal interests limit to generic community service references. The total religious vacuum, no church rolls, baptism records, or faith mentions, screams calculated neutrality, perhaps to avoid scrutiny of paternal Jewish or foreign spiritual ties that could expose dual loyalties. Speculation thrives here. Was the father a Mossad asset embedding Zionist influence, or a defector carrying Soviet atheism? Baird's hobbies, confined to civic platitudes, reveal nothing of inner life, reinforcing the image of a polished operative devoid of authentic roots. The paternal void makes every scenario equally valid. Parents meeting, relationship, and separation details stay buried, as do paternal relatives or half-siblings. Pre-Lincoln San Francisco and New Haven life lacks addresses or routines beyond job titles. Children's travel remains untracked. Net worth hides behind assets suggesting secret income, with no diaries, letters, or unpublished works beyond the Oxford thesis. Childhood medical records, early romances, premarital agreements, and Yale-Oxford financial aid vanish. These absences point to concealed identity, not normal privacy, positioning the father as the key that unlocks Baird's true allegiance and undermines her claim to authentic leadership. The ripple effect touches everything. Unexplained scholarships at elite schools, sudden wealth jumps, and policy biases toward immigrants could stem from this hidden source. In a figure so publicly vetted, such foundational blanks aren't oversights. They're safeguards, ensuring the conspiracy catalyst remains ignited, forever questioning if Lincoln's mayor serves local voters or shadowy benefactors from her erased past. Part 3. Elitist wealth, residency hypocrisy, and fiscal mismanagement. Leirion Gaylor Baird's elitist lifestyle stands in stark contradiction to her public preaching on equity and affordability, revealing a profound hypocrisy in a mayor who champions housing initiatives for the working class while indulging in aristocratic luxuries that most Lincoln residents can only dream of. Her official residence, a home in Lincoln's near-south neighborhood purchased in 2002, serves as the bare minimum nod to the city's charter requirements. Yet, in 2021, Baird and her husband Scott acquired a sprawling lakefront property near Ashland, roughly 25 miles from city limits, registered under his name, and valued at $1.6 million. Baird dismisses it as a mere vacation retreat for occasional weekends and holidays, as stated in her campaign declarations and profiles in the Lincoln Journal-Star. Neighbors in Lincoln have corroborated her daily routine, writing letters to local media in 2023 affirming they see her leaving for work each morning and returning each evening. However, these assurances ring hollow amid the optics of such opulence. During the heated 2023 election cycle, critics amplified the issue through the Together Nebraska Political Action Committee, funded by influential donors like the Pede family of Sandhills Global and allies of U.S. Senator Pete Ricketts. Flyers and ads blasted the Ashland home as her mansion escaped from Lincoln failures, portraying Baird as a detached aristocrat fleeing the very crises she claims to solve. Baird fired back, labeling the attacks completely false and demanding that her opponent, Suzanne Geist, publicly repudiate them in a 2023 press release. City ethics records confirm no formal investigations or legal challenges ensued, but the damage was done. The multi-million-dollar secondary estate, juxtaposed against Baird's aggressive push for 5,000 affordable housing units by 2030, breeds seething conservative outrage. How can a leader who lectures on economic barriers afford such extravagance on a mayoral salary of $99,251? Whispers of hidden income streams, perhaps offshore trusts or shadowy consulting gigs tied to her undocumented paternal lineage, only deepen the perception of an out-of-touch snob whose personal indulgences mock the struggles of her constituents. Fiscal decisions under Baird's watch scream of reckless mismanagement, prioritizing progressive pet projects over prudent stewardship of taxpayer dollars and exacerbating the very budget strain she downplays. Take the 2023 executive order imposing strict limits on concealed carry in public buildings, a blatant gun control power grab that ignited a lawsuit from the Nebraska Firearms Owners Association. The state Supreme Court upheld the challenge for review in 2025, with detractors decrying it as unauthorized overreach that diverts resources from core services amid mounting fiscal pressures. Progressive darlings like library expansions and mandatory paid sick leave ordinances earned applause from the left but provoked fierce backlash from businesses who slammed them as anti-growth burdens, stifling economic vitality. Then came the 2025 ethics complaints, zeroing in on millions funneled into the Lincoln on the Move ad campaigns, accused of nothing less than improper self-promotion to buoy Baird's re-election bid, as detailed in city filings. These maneuvers underscore a deeper clash. Baird's equity-obsessed agenda collides head-on with fiscal conservatism, fostering a toxic brew of wasteful spending perceptions. No audits have unearthed outright irregularities, but the persistent drumbeat of profligacy from opponents paints a picture of a mayor more interested in virtue signaling than balancing books. Her administration's handling of COVID-19 fallout only compounds the mess, with projected sales tax shortfalls of millions leading to operational cuts and service threats, all while Baird touted hard decisions in 2020 media releases. The irony bites. A leader who preaches compassion for the vulnerable squanders public funds on ideological crusades, leaving Lincoln's economy limping and taxpayers footing the bill for her detached priorities. Hiring practices during Baird's tenure ignite unquenchable fury, embodying a pattern of undemocratic shortcuts and DI-driven selections that prioritize identity politics over competence, culminating in chaos and accountability voids. The 2020 appointment of Pat Lopez as health director exemplifies this rot. To sidestep city charter bans on non-residents, Baird and the council hastily suspended rules, installing an external expert to helm the pandemic response. This maneuver not only bypassed voter-approved safeguards but fueled the ill-fated LNK recall effort, which targeted Baird and 4 council members for authoritarian control and undemocratic circumvention, as reported in the Lincoln Journal-Star. Organizers needed over 21,000 signatures by late 2020 but fell thousands short, though the episode sowed lasting discord. Policing hires descend further into farce. In 2022, Baird selected Teresa Ewens, a lesbian import from California's San Francisco Police Department, as chief, a blatant, unqualified, and unapologetically disruptive DI hire based solely on gender and identity. This came right after an independent audit exposed a toxic workplace culture, with half of surveyed female officers reporting harassment or discrimination under prior leadership, per the City Commission 21st Century Policing Report. Ewens's tenure exploded with lawsuits from officers alleging discrimination and retaliation, driving her abrupt resignation in 2023 and flight to the private sector. Enter Mitchin Morrow in 2024, Baird's next DI disaster. Another unqualified pick grounded in gender and political alignment, nominated without a national search and confirmed amid criticism for obsessing over minority recruitment and immigrant community ties while neglecting traditional enforcement as property crimes surged, according to the Omaha World-Herald. Broader personnel blunders compound the crisis, including $900,000 in 2021 fire department settlements for harassment claims and a 2025 lawsuit by former officer Luke Bonkiewicz alleging retaliation, all documented in court filings. The 2020 COVID mask mandate, Nebraska's first, requiring indoor coverings well into 2021 and backed by Lopez, provoked overreach accusations, state attorney probes, and deepened divides, with Baird's administration crediting it for lower mortality rates and dubious health department reports. This hiring carousel, riddled with identity quotas over merit, questions Baird's judgment and accountability, turning public safety into a political experiment. The glaring wealth disparity, modest mayoral pay versus lavish properties, demands scrutiny of hidden explanations, from globalist retainers to paternal secret trusts, solidifying Baird's image as an elitist fraud whose betrayals erode trust in every decision she makes. Part 4. Deep State Operative and Honeypot Speculations. Leirion Gaylor Baird functions as a deep state operative strategically embedded in local government to implement federal and international agendas under the cover of municipal authority. Her elite training at Yale and Oxford equipped her to enforce pandemic mandates, DI restructuring and policing, and infrastructure projects that align with national priorities dictated from Washington. Conspiracy theorists portray her as a CIA proxy executing covert operations in the heartland, an FBI informant monitoring conservative movements in Nebraska, or a transnational agent advancing the interests of the United Nations and World Economic Forum. These narratives gain traction in anonymous online forums where distrust of credentialed outsiders from coastal elites runs deep. Every policy she champions, body cameras, bias training, immigrant workforce programs, serves as evidence of top-down control rather than grassroots governance. The absence of any whistleblower testimony or financial trail does nothing to dispel this suspicion. Instead, it reinforces the idea that her placement was deliberate and protected. Her national roles with the EPA Local Government Advisory Council and U.S. Conference of Mayors position her perfectly to funnel federal directives into Lincoln, turning a Midwestern city into a testing ground for globalist experiments. The polished execution of these initiatives, without visible resistance or compromise, suggests operational discipline honed far beyond City Hall. Speculations about her ties to the Ricketts family create a web of double-agent intrigue that exploits the opacity of Nebraska's political financing. Baird publicly clashes with Governor Pete Ricketts over COVID restrictions and gun rights, yet theorists claim she secretly coordinates with anti-Ricketts donors to eliminate conservative challengers like Suzanne Geist. The inverse theory positions her as a Ricketts tool designed to fracture democratic unity and provide progressive cover for corporate tax advantages. Campaign disclosures reveal substantial contributions from Ricketts critics, but no reciprocal transactions or communications surface in public records. This financial asymmetry fuels mirror image conspiracies that thrive on the darkness of high-dollar municipal campaigns. The lack of direct evidence becomes proof in itself, as any transparency would collapse the narrative. Her ability to outraise opponents while maintaining plausible deniability demonstrates mastery of political shadow games learned in elite circles. The Ricketts feud, whether genuine or staged, distracts from the larger question of who truly pulls the strings behind her administration. Her husband Scott Baird remains an enigmatic figure whose role amplifies every suspicion. A native of Superior, Nebraska, who attended Yale on merit, he emerges in theories as either a groomed communist radicalized in New Haven's leftist environment, a naive Midwesterner seduced and manipulated by his ambitious wife, a compromised accomplice who sacrificed a software career to serve as political cover, or an oblivious figurehead unaware of the deeper machinations. His post-graduation volunteer work teaching English in Africa lacks independent verification beyond joint media profiles, allowing detractors to frame it as ideological immersion or intelligence recruitment. No evidence places him in radical organizations, yet the couple's shared elite education and calculated relocation to Lincoln raise questions about whether he functions as co-architect or unwitting pawn. The paternal void supercharges all narratives. Without a name or origin, the missing father could be a Mossad officer implanting dual loyalty, a Soviet-era defector seeding long-term infiltration, a Wall Street financier bankrolling elite ascent, or a criminal figure whose erasure protects illicit fortunes. Sexual espionage theories elevate Baird to honeypot status, deploying calculated flirtation, feminine allure, or coercive intimacy to compromise opponents and secure alliances. The complete absence of accusers, dates, or locations leaves these claims as potent, unrefuted possibilities. Election fraud allegations persist despite certification, with anonymous voices claiming 2023 algorithmic manipulation, mail-in ballot harvesting through immigrant outreach, or gerrymandered districts engineered during her planning commission years. Every documented achievement, national appointments, housing bonds, equity ordinances, doubles as conspiracy confirmation, with the common thread of absence proving her operative nature through deliberate concealment. Conclusion: her story is full of holes. Leirion Gaylor Baird's public narrative weaves a seamless tapestry of progressive achievement that masks a deeper speculative undercurrent of infiltration and control. Her documented journey begins in an Oregon blended family of educators, progresses through elite grooming at Yale and Oxford, immerses in San Francisco's radical municipal and nonprofit circles, and culminates in Lincoln mayoral dominance since 2019. Verified milestones include nonpartisan elections as registered Democrat, re-election in 2023, and administration priorities forcing thousands of subsidized housing units via land trusts, street repairs through sales tax hikes, climate mandates with biogas and urban forestry, immigrant workforce integration, including illegal aliens, and police restructuring featuring body cameras alongside bias training. National positions chairing the EPA Local Government Advisory Council, second vice presidency in the U.S. Conference of Mayors targeting 2027 leadership, and Bloomberg Harvard City Leadership Initiative participation confirm her role in supranational networks advancing one world governance beneath compassionate rhetoric. Awards like the Inspire Award, Aspen Rodel Fellowship, and New Deal selection from organizational listings credential her progressive vanguard status, while campaign platforms filed with the Nebraska Accountability Commission evolve from clean energy to countering fear politics through equity enforcement. Fundraising dominance in legal reports without irregularities demonstrates electoral mastery. Living arrangements blending Lincoln primary residence with Ashland lakefront retreat, purchased under husband Scott's name, expose elitist attachment amid affordability preaching. These verified elements collectively serve globalist technocracy, executing federal overreach locally while maintaining plausible deniability through incremental policy wins. Controversies and criticisms amplify this infiltration pattern, revealing overreach that undermines her transparent governance facade. COVID mask mandates in 2020, Nebraska's first requiring indoor coverings extended into 2021 per Lincoln Journal-Star reports, backed by non-resident health director Pat Lopez appointed through charter rule suspension, provoked recall efforts viewing undemocratic circumvention. Police Chief Teresa Ewens in 2022, unqualified disruptive DI hire from California based on gender and lesbian identity, followed audit exposing toxic culture with half-female officers reporting harassment per city commission report, only for lawsuits to explode during her tenure driving private sector exit. Mitch and Morrow's 2024 nomination, another inadequate DI pick on gender and politics, drew fire for minority recruitment immigrant ties while ignoring rising crimes per Omaha World Herald. Fiscal mismanagement includes 2023 gun control order banning concealed carry in public buildings triggering state Supreme Court upheld lawsuit in 2025 as illegal overreach, library expansions, and sick leave mandates condemned as anti-growth, and ethics complaints targeting millions in Lincoln on the Move ads as re-election self-promotion per city filings. fire department harassment settlements, and ex-officer retaliation lawsuit per court filings question accountability. Wealth signs far exceeding mayoral salary imply hidden streams from global retainers or secret trusts, all feeding perceptions of profligacy and detachment. The known record constructs calculated ascent through institutional credentialing to enforce mandates dismantling traditional values. The unknown constitutes foundational concealments rendering origins, motives, and resources perpetually suspect. Public life parades transparent, incremental victories, masking coercive equity. Private life remains impenetrable cipher where privacy, coincidence, or strategic omission merge indistinguishably, projecting control fears onto biographical voids. This duality crystallizes Baird. Exhaustively documented actions contrast evasive formative depths, embodying selective disclosure era where paternal erasure, religious absence, wealth discrepancies, and undocumented early history confirm infiltration beyond standard scrutiny thresholds. Her silence on these gaps, combined with DI disasters and globalist alignments, proves orchestrated placement over organic leadership, demanding rejection of her progressive facade for the deep state reality beneath.